These are excerpts from Trial Filing 14SC-2, Court Date 3714, trialoflife.info. Legal civil war begins with the understanding we are threatened with extinction. Our nation is threatened with complete economic chaos because of leadership counterfeiting. Our world is being raped for the resources required to keep us all alive. Our state of Illinois has enslaved us for the purpose of a very few. The elemental reality of our democracy is that we are united under the constitutional contract that is our own description of what we, the people, have chosen to be our government. It is clearly stated in the preamble of this USA that our agreement, our legally accepted governmental purpose as a united people shall be, quote, we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. These words comprise the foundation of what every person who swears to get their job accepts as this job as their governmental duty. Each and every constitutional amendment constructs a legal duty without discretion or interpretation beyond what the people themselves expected. We are threatened in every courtroom trial. The demand was, we, the people, must be notified of what happens when this is proven wrong. The university says, we can bring a 10 million degree fire here because there is not enough gravity to hold it down to the earth, so it will just extinguish itself. A fire that clearly burns atomic bombs. Bonds to a planet that made entirely out of atomic bonds, which means everything here is fuel for the fire. Not a game. If that fire does not put itself out, it then grows and consumes the earth. It burns atomic bonds, which means everything is fuel for the fire. That fire will eject our entire atmosphere in roughly 40 days. They do bet our lives on what is literally a one-time experiment, no going back. We cannot put out a fire that is 8 to 10 million degrees hot, with flames said to reach 12 times farther than the distance of our moon to this planet, which means we live or die as a planet based upon their theory. Are you willing to be wrong? For me in opposition, there is absolutely no scientific evidence that the fire on the sun is fusion. Redress means together we stand for the guaranteed rights, freedoms, and realities of the law that are declared in constitutional words and intent. Together we shall judge our nation. By investigating the realities of our lives, together we shall assemble the information that clearly states what will go wrong if these experiments fail, and choose for ourselves if anyone shall gamble with all life on earth. Together we shall decide our future because we have earned that right. This is our law. Together we shall own our democracy again by law. We are the owners here because we are the experts in democracy. We are more simply, each one owns their own vote. Together we inform, together we then decide. It's called the United States of America. All of us, not just a few. Filled with law, this is what we demand. And democracy, we do have a vote, but not a vote for someone to vote for me. My vote on the laws and the rights and realities that decide our future. It is the only way. $1 trillion is equal to $10,000 for each and every individual. 100 million people. Just federal debt alone is now $17 trillion. Or roughly for 1 in 3 citizens in the United States, babies and all, they have been placed under new debt loads strictly because of federal officials at $170,000 apiece in the last 12 years or so. Or more simply, those who received this promise of payment granted by our employees against we, the people, now hold the keys to buying 100 million properties worth $170,000 apiece. How is that not dispossession? And there is much more. FederalReserve.gov, Table L5 proves trillions more has been counterfeited. Which means this is not debt, neither is it credit. It is lied about inflation, which only the few are granted access to. That is treason. Our work, our resources, our democracy, our future is tied up in what are called the securities of currencies. All of it is dissolved by a tiny few whose job did not include anarchy, treason, or betrayal. A legal tax revolt, the withholding of tax, demand the return of our true democracy, the reality and the relationships that govern our currency, alter our society, destroy our ownership, and threaten our lives shall be stopped first. To do less is a desertion of a duty. It is America's surrender to complete failure. We must return ownership to ourselves as the purpose of this trial beginning March 7, 2014. Read at trialoflife.info. Expanding this to legal world war, the question presented is not whether I am right or wrong regarding threats that can exterminate us all. It is not even whether those who experiment are right or wrong. This is fundamentally unnecessary. The question is in experiments that literally can and do endanger our very existence as a planet, which threaten the very nature we require to survive and be happy as is everything alive. The legal answer is being wrong is death to us all. Our right to understand fully and decide for ourselves without interference is in fact undeniable. The democratic answer is our lives are threatened, therefore our legal rights and our own decision is the law. Nature itself is the factory and instructions and utilities, etc., that build the bodies of life, called DNA. Not a game. Every living thing is at risk. When you hear the words truthfully, that understands with all certainty the university terrorists are mutilating every form of life on this planet, altering life as they themselves describe. fully knowing the reality of pandemics are generally created when a disease crosses species barriers, and these terrorists are doing it intentionally every day, literally injecting chaos into the genetic nature as a living body, reality of our lives and our world. And they are building three, aligned by triangulation. These lasers can be combined into 3 million, 1 trillion volt lightning strikes, all hitting the same place at the same time. A fire so ferocious, packed into a laser beam, that it will ignite the same fire as is on the sun here upon this earth instantly. The exowatt laser does represent the single most likely event to destroy this world immediately, expected roughly 9/1/2015. Scientists said, let's play with the single most destructive event in the history of the universe. They have currently created a 5 trillion watt explosion at CERN, the instantaneous release of 3.2 billion BTUs of energy, or 67 billion units of horsepower, in their tiny cage, fueled by numerous atomic power plants. Not a game. Separated from extreme threats listed above, but still able to damage or destroy us all, reality is refused by the court and the media and all leadership to inform the people and let them decide. Logic says unimportant, because the religion of university knows and tends to kill us all, as they've already abandoned the future and now live to make us all beg. Are you willing to let them be wrong? Answer the question. Join the petition for class action status and redress trials in this USA. Fight for this world. There are no second chances.